Hello and welcome to this new section on setting clear goals and metrics, and the first lecture of that in this course, Master in Revenue Cycle Management. Right. So in this section, we will talk to you about how can you set clear goals and metrics to implement RSM excellence in your organization. And we will begin in this lecture by taking a look at the first step of defining success metrics. So, how do you think you can set clear goals and matrices? What are the steps that you think you need to take to set clear goals and metrics? Any thoughts? So, there are three things that you need to do to set clear goals and metrics. First, start by establishing clear goals for your RSM initiative. This should include measurable KPIs such as AR receivable days, improving first pass claim resolution rate, reducing denial rates, and lowering the cost to collect, or anything else that is important. Then you need to align with your organization goals. Ensure that your RCM objectives align with the broader financial and organizational goals of your company or organization. And these could be things like increasing cash flow, enhancing patient satisfaction, or improving regulatory compliance. And the third thing that you need to do is then to set short term and long term goals, and where you need to define both short term quick wins like streamlining claim submissions, or long term goals like adopting value based care models. And how to do that, we will talk about as we go forward. So, what do you think? What do you need to do to define the clear matrices? Any thoughts on how to define the clear matrices to set clear goals and matrices? So, let me first I reiterate why do we need to establish clear goals for RSM initiative? Because these are important for three things: driving improvements, measuring successes that you have in your RCM initiative, and aligning all the departments towards the common objective. Because without aligning all the departments towards the common objective, achieving success is a big challenge. Now, to do this, set these clear goals, you need to take many steps. So, let's take a look at the steps that can help you set effective and achievable goals for your RCM initiative, right? So, what you need to do, which we have talked about in the first section, and we need to build on that, is to analyze current revenue cycle performance. So, before setting the goals, the section one step needs to be completed, where you need to have a comprehensive understanding of your current revenue cycle process and performance. And there you need to start by reviewing the KPIs, examine KPIs such as days in accounts receivables, denial rates, first pass resolution rate, clean claim rate, cost to collect, bad debt write off, and patient access efficiency. Having examined the key performance indicators, then you need to identify the pain points. Conduct an internal audit of your revenue cycle to pinpoint inefficiencies, and we looked at how do we do that in the last section. Identify the bottlenecks, areas where errors or delays are frequent, and this could involve patient registration issues, documentation problem, coding errors, or denial management challenges. And then you need to gather stakeholders' inputs by engaging these key stakeholders from the three departments: key department, clinical, administrative, and financial, or anyone else that your organization specifically needs you to. And there you provide insights on the do you get insights on the current challenges and areas to improve. So that's what you do in analyzing current revenue cycle performance. Then the second step is to align with organizational goals, where, you know, because these goals should support the broader objective of your healthcare organization. And what you need to do is to align your revenue cycle initiatives with with financial health, improving cash flows, reducing AR days or enhancing collection, things like that. Then you also need to consider operational efficiency like streamlining workflows, reducing administrative burden, and improving patient experiences. Then another factor to align is compliance and risk management in ensuring accuracy in coding, billing, and documentation to minimize the risk of audits and denials. And finally, enhancing patient satisfaction by improving the patient access, reducing billing issues, and improving transparencies around patient payments. So that's the second step of aligning with the organizational goals. Then you need to define the SMART goals. That's the key thing that we wanted to talk to you about in this lecture. Once you understand your current performance, how it aligns with your organizational priorities, set SMART goals. And these SMART goals stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And this should be for your RCM initiative. Now let's look at each of these. What do we mean here? The specific really means clearly define the area that you want to improve. Example, you could be saying reduce days in AR from 55 days to 40 days by improving claim follow-ups and billing accuracy. So the specific area is reduce days in AR. Then you need to, your second part of your SMART goals is measurable, set quantitative targets for your goals so that the progress can be tracked and evaluated over a period of time. And your example could be improve clean claim rate, that's the area, from 85% to 95%. That is the measurable part within 6 months by enhancing pre-claim scrubbing processes. Then you look at achievable part of your SMART goals, and where you need to ensure that the goals are realistic and attainable based on your current capabilities and resources. You need to see whether you are not overreaching, and you set goals that are achievable while pushing for improvement. Say for example, in a SMART goal set that is says first pass resolution from 87 to 92% by improving coding accuracy and training staff on common claim errors. You need to ask yourself whether this can be achieved, right? The next area to align is the relevancy. Relevant, make sure that your goals align with your organization's overall mission and financial objective. Focus on areas that will have the greatest impact on financial performance and patient satisfaction. Say, for example, you could be looking at a goal which says reduce denial rate from 10% to 7% by addressing common denial reasons such as eligibility and authorization error. And here you need to ask whether reducing denial rate is the relevant goal for your organization. And finally, make sure that you have a clear deadline for achieving the goal. Time-bound goals create urgency and provide a framework for tracking progress. And if you set a goal like saying reduce AR days to 40 within 6 months, so within 6 months is the time bound that you are setting, the time bound binding that you are setting for your SMART goals. So that's how you define the SMART goals. Then the fourth step would be to set goals for each stage of the revenue process, and that is basically to ensure comprehensive improvement where you set specific goals for each stage of the revenue cycle, and you can consider breaking down goals into categories such as patient access, where you then clinical documentation and coding, claims management, denial management, and collection. And then you could have each of these places you could set goals, like in patient access you could say improve patient registration accuracy by reducing the registration errors by 15% within 3 months. There are more examples that I'm not talking to you. You can come back and take a look at the PDF version of this file to look at all those examples. The fifth step would be to engage stakeholders and assign clear ownership for each goal to specific departments by defining roles and responsibilities. Clearly communicate in doing that with who is responsible for achieving each of the goals. Say, for example, the billing team may be responsible for reducing denial rate, the patient access team may focus on improving registration accuracy, and the clinical staff may work on enhancing documentation and coding accuracy. Then you need to get buy-in from all relevant departments such as clinical, administrative, financial teams. Explain how each goal benefits both their department and the organizations overall. Then encourage collaboration between teams, example, billing and clinical staff to achieve common goals. And the goals could be to improve documented accuracy, to reduce denials. And that's how you engage stakeholders and assign ownership. Create an action plan finally, as you see here. Once the goals are established, create an action plan to outline the steps necessary to achieve them. And this action plan should include step-by-step process. Break down each goal into smaller tasks. For example, for reducing AR days, create a timeline for you could be saying create a timeline for implementing automated follow procedures or training staff for more efficient billing practices. For reducing denial rates, you could be mapping out steps to prevent denials, or and these you could be doing by training staff on coding or improving pre-authorization processes. And identify any key technology like staff training or additional resources needed to achieve these goals, and set milestones to track progress towards each goal, and this will allow for periodic reviews and adjustments. Finally, once your RSM initiative is underway, monitor progress against each goal, track KPI, use RCM software or performance dashboards to monitor key matrices like AR days, denial rates, clean claim rate in real time. Hold regular meetings with stakeholders, key stakeholders to review performance, share progress, celebrate successes, and address any issues that are preventing you from reaching your goals. Be flexible and willing to adjust goals if circumstances change, new challenges can arise, and or the goals could be met early. So, so to conclude, setting clear and effective goals for your RCM initiative requires a thorough understanding of your current performance, alignment with organizational priorities, and setting smart goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Engaging stakeholders and regularly tracking progress ensures that everyone is working towards the same objectives, and that helps to drive improvements in revenue cycle, performance, and the financial outcomes. So what do we do next? So in the next lecture, after having looked at how to define metrics, we will take a look at how to align with the organization goals. We talked about that in this lecture. Let's take a look at how to do that in detail in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on setting clear goals and metrics in this course, Master in Revenue Cycle Management. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.